Hi there. Today I'm going to be walking you through how to create a choice board, and you can create choice boards for any content or topic, but today we're going to be focusing on how to create a choice board that supports social and emotional learning, which is a topic that's near and dear to our hearts right now because at this interesting time in our educational history, it's probably the most important thing that we're doing now is supporting our students socially and emotionally during this time. So I'm going to show you a few examples, and I'll also show you an example of a choice board that's not related to social and emotional learning, but the focus in this module will be creating one surrounding SEL. So let me just walk you through. A choice board is essentially a Google Doc. You can do it in Google Slideshow or even a Word doc. And basically you're going to create an interactive document by setting up some boxes here. And in each box you're going to put some sort of content. And the way that you structure, actually let me just show you, this is a choice board that I created for integers, and basically there are 6 options on this particular choice board, and I integrated some videos on integers, a Khan Academy tutorial with some practice, a card game, so when they click here there are directions to play a card game, there's 2 IXL skills, and then a digital handout PDF file that students can access. So with this particular choice board I chose to do 6 little bits of content to include for them to choose from, and I just told them that they just needed to choose 3 different integer related activities each day. So let me go back to this mindfulness choice board. This is also 6 boxes, but one way you could do it is to color code each box and ask students to please complete a red and a yellow box each day. And this would obviously be used over the course of a few days, and you could just have them select which ones they wanted to do. Now the awesomeness of choice boards is you get to control what you put, what content and resources you put in each box, but students get to control the order in which they access those pieces of content. So it's a win-win. You're going to get to disseminate your information on this choice board, and students are going to be able to take that all in flexibly in a way that they feel comfortable with at that very moment. And this little piece of flexibility is extremely important with social and emotional, because students can access something depending on how they're feeling each day. So this is an example with 6 boxes of content, and I feel that especially with the younger ones, using less boxes is more, and the 6 box choice board works very well with the youngers. But if you wanted to take it to the next level, we also have a version, and I'll be sharing both of these templates with you so that you can use them this week, but a tic-tac-toe choice board. And I also refer to these as power boards, but this particular choice board is going to offer 9 options. So it gets a little bit more in depth here. And what you're going to do is you're going to create one option that you want students to start with every single day. So this, for me, and the example that I'm going to create for you is going to be a growth mindset journal that I want them to make an entry into every single day. And then within that, they start with that, and then they can make tic-tac-toe off of that center block. So they could go diagonal and do those 2 additional activities. They can go up and down, diagonal the other way, across. So that's the tic-tac-toe. So they're doing 3 options over the course of 3 days. And this is, like I said, this is great for, well, if you have a topic where you want a lot of resources put in the choice board, but also for older kids who are able to navigate through a document with a little bit more in it. So let's look at how we're going to actually design this choice board, and we can just click over to Google Drive, and you're going to go to New, and just grab a new Google Doc and open that up. What I like to do is I like to not have to leave my Google Doc once I'm in it creating my choice board. So I'm going to show you a few strategies that you can use to access all of the resources that you're going to put into your choice board without actually having to open a million tabs. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give my tic-tac-toe power board a title, and then I'm going to just write the directions for my power board, my choice board, that I want my students to follow. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to insert my boxes. So to do that, I go to Insert, Table, and this is going to be a 9-box choice board, so I'm going to make a 3x3 table. And what I'll do is just hit enter a few times to make my boxes bigger. And I can play with the size too. There we go. Okay, now sometimes I like to actually change the background color so it's not plain white, and to do that I go to File, and then I go all the way down to Page Setup here, and then I'm going to click Page Color, and let's do this one, dark yellow, and then click OK. Now you can also change the colors in each box. So to do that, I just click on the box and I go up to my paint can, and I'm going to be able to change my background color. So we can do like a light blue, and then I will do this one white, and then this one I'll do light blue again. So I color coded mine, and you can design yours however you'd like. It's super simple, and that's part of the fun of it, is just having some fun creatively with it. So I've selected and I've chosen my background color. I've chosen colors for each box, and now I want to get my content in there. So how am I going to do that? Well, I like to plan it out ahead of time and actually just click here on Tasks, and what it will show me is, and I've already started this, what resources I want to add to my my choice board. So I've already kind of gone through and thought of and brainstormed which items I want to put inside my tic-tac-toe power board. So let's say my last one is scavenger hunt for nature. Okay, so now I just have to kind of refer to this task document as I go and plug in my my resources. So let's start doing that. So first of all, I want to start with my star here, and I'm going to just insert an image here. Let's search the web here. I could also click Explore here to do the same thing, but I'm going to do an image search for a star. And let's use that one, click and drag. And there's my star. And you can either just like resize your star, center it and put the text under it, or you can actually create a text box over the star. I think it probably will be better visually to put the text underneath. So I'm going to do that. And my text is going to say Growth Mindset Journal. Okay. So this is going to be what I want my students to access every single day. So with my Growth Mindset Journal, I want to be able to attach the link to the template of the Growth Mindset Journal. So what I can do to find that document is I'm going to click the link here, and it will give me the option to search. So it's searching for Growth Mindset Journal. It's not finding it right away, so I'm going to click Find More, and then I'm going to go to Drive, and that's going to open up a menu where I can actually click and open up the growth mindset document. Now, what you want to do is, if you're not pushing this out separately in Google Classroom, and you want each student to be able to make a copy from the choice board, what you're going to do is you're going to make this force a copy. So to do that, you just go up into your URL, and where you have this / you're just going to kind of erase edit and put copy in there. And then you're going to highlight, copy that, and then I'm going to go back to here, and I'll click link again and paste. Okay, so what that is going to do is anytime my student clicks on Growth Mindset Journal, it's going to force a copy for them to have to open. Now, keep in mind, so now they'll be able to make a copy and add it to their drive. If they're if they're making journal entries every day, they're not going to want to force a copy every day. So just make sure that you remind them to add this document to their drive, and that when they are going to access it every day, that they go via drive. They're not going to be able to access it every day if they're continually using this choice board. So that's just a little sidebar. But that's there. The Growth Mindset Journal is there for them to work on. And like I said, you could also put the journal on Google Classroom and just post it here without a link, so that way they would have to go into their Google Classroom, and you could have a mindset journal, a copy made for each student. So that's just a few options here. So I'm going to go back to my task list just to see. I did my growth mindset journal, so I'm going to click that off. I just want to also emphasize you don't have to put all tech resources in your choice boards. If you just want to put text, so for instance, I'm going to put build a fort and read for, let's say, 30 minutes inside your fort. Okay, so there's text there. It's kind of boring. If you want to make that a little bit more visual, you can. I like to use a lot of pictures in my choice boards, like I showed you before when I showed you that positive and negative integer choice board. It just makes it a little bit more visually interesting. So to do that, I might want to integrate a picture of a book or something to that effect. To do that, I'm just going to click here. I can go to Insert, Image, or I can use the Explore button here to look for an image on the web. I'm going to go back up to Image, search the web, and I'm going to look for some book clip art. And I'm just going to click and drag that over. And move that text. There we go. If you want to center that, you can here. There we go. Again, if you want to do something stylistically, you can change the font. You can do a different font in each text box. I'm actually going to resize this a little bit by clicking and dragging the corner. There we go. Okay, let's go back to my task list. Okay, I did build a fort. All right, so let's integrate a video of some sort. I want to do the Cosmic Kids Be the Pond video. And I want to put that, let's say I'm going to put that over here in my upper left. I can do that by going to Insert. And I'm going to go to Link. And in my text, I'm going to do Be the Pond. Kids Yoga. And what it's going to do is Google is actually going to search for that very video just by me clicking on that link. I can also use Explore and search over here. I'll click open my Explore, and I can do the same thing. And it gives me a bunch of options. Now it's going to give me the cosmickids.com page. If I wanted to be more specific and find a YouTube video, I can just type YouTube, and then it will give me some examples of cosmic yoga videos. So I am going to now just click and drag my link right into my choice board here. And that's kind of hard to see, so maybe I'll change the color. I'll highlight it and just change my text color there so you can see that a little bit better over the blue. What happens is when your students click on the link, they're going to be able to see a thumbnail of the actual video there that they can watch and maybe even read a little bit about it. And for this, I want to add a picture of someone doing yoga, so I went to Explore and typed in yoga clip art. And actually, I don't want to do that. I want to make sure my cursor is blinking inside the box. And there we go. If you want to cite all of your resources at the bottom of your choice board, you can do that as well. I'm just going to center that. Do you see how I have this clicked on, and basically it's giving me the link to that particular image? What I want to do here is just unlink it so that when my students click on it, they're not led to that link, that you want them to access the Cosmic Kids Zenden link. You don't want them to be clicking on the picture and going anywhere else. And I think I'm going to center this as well. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my checklist, and I'm going to work on inserting the alpha breaths read aloud. And just for repetition's sake, I'm going to click on my box here. I'm going to go up to link, and then instead of typing the link in, or I can even click on the text box to do a search, I'm going to keep the link field clicked here, and then I'm just going to type in alpha breaths, which is what I'm looking to put in there, read aloud, YouTube. And Google's going to search that for me, and here we go. So we have the YouTube video. I'm going to click on that. It puts the text up here and the URL, and I just click apply, and there's alpha breaths, the ABCs of mindful breathing. I'm going to put my URL here, and then I'm going to look for an image for ABCs. And then I'm just going to click and drag that over. And you'll have to play around with spacing as you go. But we have our choice board coming into shape here. So the last thing, and a really simple thing to add to help your students find their way, is to add numbers to your choice board in each field. This way students will be able to kind of report back to you if you ask them, okay, well, which number on your choice board did you do today? Well, I did number 1, I did number 2. And there we go. I lost my visual there. We can go back and put it in after. And then I'm going to go over here. And so basically, or you could even take the reins and say, okay, I want you to do 1, 2, and 3 today. So just adding numbers gives it a little more structure, but you certainly do not have to do that. So your goal this week is to create a tic-tac-toe power board, or you could create a 6-box power board or choice board, and to try to encompass at least one resource from each of the 5 buckets of social and emotional learning. And I highly recommend that you get creative with it, have fun with the design of it, and really just create something special that you can use with your students this week.